Hi, hello, hi, and welcome to all our hearts and minds. Thank you again for tuning in. We're here to discuss all things that have been on our hearts and minds, the good and the bad, the concerning and uplifting, or just straight talk. We're your hosts, Kimmy, our passionate heart,
Yeah.
and me, Jeanette, our mind and chronic overthinker. Let's get into it.
Yes, please and thanks.
Okay, let's check in real quick. What's up? How you doing? You feeling good?
Okay, I'm doing all right still. I can't really complain. It's been a really good week. Got a few things done. We are able to confirm a photographer for the wedding and so on. Um, yeah, but this month is my birthday month. So I'm also
Yes.
looking forward to all of that. But in terms of the week, I can't complain. I'm very thankful God brought me through another one. So how about you, girl? What's going on? What's popping?
Oh man, April's here, boy. April just
Mm-hmm. Full
popped up.
effect.
April just popped up out of nowhere, but everything's all good. Some things going on in the background, but just praying for a good outcome, and that's really all you can do. So
Mm-hmm.
just
That's
trying
right.
to stay positive and light.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so moving into the headlines. I don't know what's going on up in Niagara Falls, boy. I don't know what's going on in
Jeez,
Niagara
I need to
Falls.
sit on. Yeah.
So a couple of
Mm-hmm.
days ago, so for our listeners who are not local in Ontario or Canada, we have a place here. Most, if you visited Canada, I'm sure you've checked out Niagara Falls. It's one of the main tourist attractions here, and unfortunately, there was a shooting up on Clifton Hills. That's kind of where all the restaurants
Yeah, that's
and
like prime time.
the
That's like
haunted
right where
houses.
you would go.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the center of everything when you kind of go into the city of Niagara Falls. So one person is dead and two people are injured after a
Jeez,
shooting. So it's crazy. It happened actually Friday. So
fresh.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very very fresh. So
Prayers up.
prayers up. So investigators said there's a blue Ford F-150 that was left the area on a high speed. A
Mm-mm.
Ford F-50, I mean, I'm not trying to make assumptions, but when I hear a Ford F-50 150, I feel like, that's a truck that's like, I don't know, but you
Yeah,
never
I know. I know what you're hinting around.
but it
Yeah,
doesn't
but
at the
that's a
end of the
very
day.
popular car here too. Like that's
Yeah,
that's a
true.
popular car here in Canada, like specifically Ontario.
Yeah, so I wouldn't
Um
say, I don't want to, you never know, but I'm just saying that hints something.
yeah, but I was going to say it's popular amongst those which you're
Yes.
trying to insinuate. But yes, prayers up for them. And honestly, here in Canada, when we hear something like this,
Hmm.
it's a lot because it's not often, especially in Niagara Falls.
Yeah, and
I
they
could
said
hear
they're
I could hear it more happening like inner city, but
yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, because it's mostly tourists. They're coming out of town. They're trying to have a good time. The vibes are usually positive and fun.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
of course, the victims are all from outside of the Niagara region, so maybe it's something that got kind of carried
Mm-hmm.
all the way
I
over there.
mean, it is a border, like a border town. Like we
That
call
too.
it border cities, meaning the city is so close to a border. It's like you literally hop, skip, and a jump, and then
Hmm.
you're in the United States. So yeah, but Niagara Falls is seeing some heat.
Some
They're
heat
seeing
over
some
there.
heat.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
we'll stay posted on what happens with that story.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. When will people stop talking about Russell Wilson? Like,
I don't know.
seriously, like it's getting annoying. It's getting creepy. It's getting like, do you want to eat Future's ass? Like, and it's always these guys. It's like always these guys, and it's like, why are you talk like if Future doesn't have stop even Future stop talking about it. So
Yeah, because he looks
like
stupid.
like
Mm-hmm.
why are these random men talking on this relationship, like what the heck? So anyway, I think it was last week, Miami Dolphins linebacker Channing Crowder was on a podcast, and I don't even know why. He said he doesn't understand why Sierra would leave Future
Mm-hmm.
for a square like Russell Wilson.
It's called stability.
Yeah,
Try it
right.
out sometime.
And he said
Like,
on the podcast, it's like if Russell didn't have that bread, Sierra wouldn't be with him. Sierra has a good situation. You don't leave Future and get with Russell Wilson. It's a type. Everybody has a type, and I love him on the field, but he's a fucking square.
okay.
Excuse me. This sounds like some hate. Like, first of all, why are you speaking? You don't know Sierra like that. You're not in the like. What the hell? It's just weird. It sounds like he just doesn't like Russell for whatever reason. But wh-
Sierra has her own damn money. Like, stop it. Like, we're acting like Sierra's not a celebrity as well. Like,
exactly.
she has her own. Number one. Number two, you know, when you get to a certain age in life, you need security and
Yeah, you
stability.
don't want
And
fuckboys.
sorry, Future, you weren't it.
No.
So it's not like Sierra was leaving an awesome prize.
No.
This is a man that has a small football team, okay, of children and baby mothers.
Hmm.
She just didn't want to go along with the herd. Kudos to you, Sierra.
Yep.
Yes, you learned a valuable lesson.
And the only thing, after he said, it's funny because after he said that, I think Russell was on a pod, I think it was Kevin Hart's podcast, and a question that came up is like, how did you get her? Like, how did you really like seal the deal with her? How did you get her to kind of like, I guess go steady or whatever the kids are they're
Mm-hmm.
saying now, go past the dating stage. So they must have been on their first date, and he said he had a busted up wallet. You know, sometimes guys have these wallets that it's like,
Yeah,
can't they're
my
just
fiance is one. Yep, can't
it's
stand the damn wallet.
it's very common, right? And so he must have
Mm-hmm.
had the wallet on there, and she was like, "What the hell? Like that's not it. Like what the heck? Why the heck do you have your wallet looking like that?" And he's like, first of all, okay, first of all, you know what this means? This shows you. This shows you consistency.
Thank you.
And let me tell you, when I was like, he said something else. I don't have the quote in front of me, but even that, with the way he said it, I was like, ooh, that would have gotten my attention.
Right?
This is somebody who's always gonna be consistent, who's going, gonna know what you're getting, you know what you're getting in with. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, Russell, you would have, you know what? That was a word. That was a word, Russell.
Yes, it
But
was. And he had to, check her, but
yeah,
nicely.
and I'll continue to say Sierra definitely, most definitely leveled up when she got with
What?
Russell Wilson, as far as
Girl,
I'm
she
concerned.
created a whole new vibe. Did you
Okay.
hear her prayer the other day?
Yeah.
She created a whole new vibe. You understand what I'm saying? No, but for real, I want to say, Sierra, thank you for giving other Black women hope
Mm.
that there are that gem out in the world like Russell.
Hmm.
Because a lot of what we see and a lot of what is pushed down our throats, whether we like it or not,
Hmm.
are men like Future.
Yeah.
Look at the statements that are being made.
Exactly. That's supposed to be the standard. That's supposed to be a prize. No, you can keep that.
No, you can take you and your small football field, go one side, please. Thank you. Yeah, no, no. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. This is a God-fearing man who has a beautiful family, a beautiful wife. He loves his family. So what if he's a square? Okay? When he wants to get wild and freaky, he has Sierra to help him out.
Yeah,
You see
yeah.
me?
There,
Don't
yeah.
worry about him and his family.
Exactly. So anyway, hoping continued happiness for them.
Yeah, of course.
So a couple of weeks, here's a thread. There's a thread with the show. This is the next person I talk about. We've talked about this person many times, and not in a bad way, but there's been a
Mm-hmm.
breakthrough in Monique's story and Monique's epic
Mm-hmm.
crusade of getting out of the blackballed list or whatever, getting off the
Mm-hmm.
blacklisted notoriety. And around April Fool's Day, that's why some people are like, is this, but I mean, director Lee Daniels actually he came on stage and he said, I am so sorry for hurting you in any way that I did.
Mm-hmm.
And he came on and he said, y'all, she was my best friend, my best friend. Y'all think that Precious was just something. He's like, that was God working through both of us. And then
Mm-hmm.
he said, we're gonna fucking do it again. So
Mm-hmm.
what he was talking
He
about when
put
he
her
said that,
on. He
yeah.
put her on.
So he has a new film that
Mm-hmm.
he's directing. It's a horror called Demon House, and she will be replacing Octavia Spencer, who had to drop out of the film due to scheduling conflict. So the
Mm-hmm.
timing seemed to all work, and here we are. He
Mm-hmm.
apologized, which I didn't know. Well, I kind of felt like from some interviews, I felt like he was leaning towards it, but I was like, if Oprah never said a thing. So the thing
Oprah,
is,
don't plan for her too. She
yeah.
ain't Oprah done. She's done with this. Okay, about 5 years ago, she's done with this.
So, but anyway, I'm glad that Monique not only got an apology from her friend and the director of Precious, which who brought her into that movie,
Mm-hmm.
but she's also gotten a
Mm-hmm.
very high profile role, which it's on Netflix, so millions of
Mm-hmm.
people
By
will see
time.
it.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited for her. So happy for her, and I'll
I
be
am
looking out
too, but
for
the
the
one thing
movie.
I will say to Monique,
Yeah.
because in this hiatus and this blackballing,
Hmm.
you haven't been acting, you haven't been doing much comedy.
Hmm.
Girl, focus. We need to focus right now because
Yeah,
if
she's
you if
been
you have this
tipping.
job and it's a high profile movie,
Yeah.
I want you to, get yourself prepared mentally, emotionally for this movie.
Yeah.
Um because you haven't done it in a while. So,
Mhm.
from what I've heard, it's like riding a bike, but,
Mhm.
just focus
Yeah, but
less
she
about
she
people's bonnets
the
and more
apology
about this film.
she has been doing shows, comedy shows, I think for
Yeah,
the
but
past couple.
not at the, I guess, at the level that she used to.
No, I
You
can
know.
agree with that. I could definitely agree with that. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, so looking forward to that. And
Mm-hmm. Me
then
too.
speaking of comedians, so
I'll watch it even though I don't like horror movies.
I
I'll watch it
know I
just to
have
see you
to.
act again because I'm
Yes.
tired of you on this damn internet streets trying to with all this nonsense. So I want to see you at work again. So I'm gonna watch the horror movie just for you.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's a big statement coming from Kim.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. Because I don't do it. Mm-mm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we're talking about comedians. So there is a viral video that was going around this week with Ti just being a complete crazy, aggressive, like toxic masculinity going on, harassing this female comedian. And so I think that the comedian's name is Lauren Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, I always am weary with weary with these short video clips that go around
Mm-hmm.
because you don't really get context. But even and I feel like in this case, you didn't really need context because regardless of what popped off, there was no reason for him to be talking to her so aggressively.
None at all.
And so, essentially, from the context, from what I've seen, is that she was on stage and he was heckling her
Yeah, he
as
was.
she was performing. And I don't know, I'm talking about marriage, I'm talking about marriage and stuff. He keeps cutting me off. So yeah, so she's just performing and he keeps cutting her off. So then finally she's like, stop playing with me, it's crazy, like you keep going and I can't say nothing to you. So that's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when he started getting all aggy, and he began demanding, getting worse with the heckling, telling her to take her wig off, and just carrying on. So as a way to kind of hopefully
And calling her a bitch
and
and
calling
all,
her all types
all
of
of her
names
names.
outside of her name. And so, all right, so she said, "All right, I'll take my wig off when you speak on the allegations." So can you? Yeah. So
I
you
love
that
it.
I would. That's a good one because if I was him, I'd shut up. I
Well,
would.
yeah, because you would have some sort of sense. Ti, like, I need you to focus on your family. I need you to
Mm-hmm.
focus on your career and your family right now.
Mm-hmm.
You and your family have been going through quite a bit with all of the allegations, with you being sued left, right, and center.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to focus on that. Now, yes, everybody likes comedy, want to be lighthearted, take some pressure off your back, have a good laugh. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to understand that you're in the public eye. Whether you like it or not, whether you think you have a responsibility or not, you're in the public eye. So she has a right to say what she wants to say. And when he came up to the stage, because I saw the clip and I was not happy about it, it was triggering.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
came up with this attitude almost like, I'm going to treat her like one of my daughters.
Mm.
That he came up to her with this. I understand that Ti is a big thing in Atlanta. I get it. Like he we see, with that politician the other day, he kind of runs them streets down there. And I understand that. However, you have to be open to other people saying something about you, whether you like it or not. It is what it is. You can't stop people from doing their job. You can't come up to people while doing their job and not just heckle them, but to the point where you got up on stage, snatched microphones from her, forcibly hugged her, confined her to your arms. It was very triggering, and I need T.I. to go and focus on his family. I need him to go sit down someplace. Now he's trying to be a comedian as well. And you're not funny enough. You know what I mean? You're not funny enough. There's nothing about you that makes people want to laugh.
Well, I heard what I heard, yeah, because and you're not even gonna make money like that. So for
That's what I'm
him,
saying.
he even recently said, somebody was asking him why he quit his podcast because he had podcasts that he was doing, and I remember, I don't know, this summer I just seen the episodes. I can't remember the name of it.
The money run dry. The money's dry.
So he said he wasn't making enough money, and so I was like, okay, comedy's even worse. So but I think the rumor is that he's gonna be cast as that comedian Red Fox, which I actually can see him like killing that role. So that's why
I could too.
That's why I feel like he's the comedy thing is coming in. Like I feel like he wouldn't just do it to become a comedian. I think he's doing it as research for a role. That's a rumor, but I feel like that makes more sense than him just jumping in.
It does make more sense. And if that's the case, then you should be at the back of the club, sitting your ass down and taking notes, not up in front of this woman, harassing people, coming up on stages, taking mics away and stuff like that. In the industry, you have to understand that that's very disrespectful. What he did was very disrespectful.
Especially if you're saying you're practicing the art of comedy.
Yeah, go sit down in the back of the club.
Yeah.
And go take some notes, bruh.
Yeah, comedians don't heckle other comedians. That's what I'm hearing from the comedians who
they're not supposed to.
Yeah, like you understand the pressure of what that art is, and so you would never in your right mind as a fellow comedian do that.
Yeah, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I'll come to your show, I'm not gonna heckle you. I might even give you, a clap or a sidebar or whatever. But bottom line is that, you kind of support each other. Unfortunately, that's not the case here. No.
So we'll see. I don't know. I'm getting sick and tired of these outbursts from him. He's like has no behavior.
I've been tired from his outbursts. Like I've been tired because you know what it says to me is that he's very narcissistic. He's his masculinity is just, it's like out the roof. Like it's just, I don't know. I don't particularly like T.I. right now. And I'll be honest, if he came out with music, I probably wouldn't listen to it. I probably wouldn't, only because you've been rubbing me a whole lot of wrong ways right now, So
okay.
I need you to go sit at the back of the club and go make notes. That's what I need you to do. Leave the girl and her business and what she's trying to do. She's trying to hustle and make her money. And in the video, I just wanted to note what I felt proud of her for doing. Was that she said, you're not going to silence me.
Yes.
You're not going to keep me quiet. I'm going to say my piece. You're not going to come up in here. Okay. And she made it quite clear. This is my domain. I'm the comedian here. Okay. You're the rapper trying to be a comedian. So this is my domain. So you're going to back up off me, but supposedly they made up. So we'll see. But, and I wanted to say, he had the audacity to double down on this whole nonsense, went home, made a video. I think it was Twitter or Instagram, but he made a video then saying, I never called her a bitch. I never called her a bitch. And if I did, I'll give the first person who can provide me proof of that $1 million. Well, what did she do? She hollered back and said, well, here you go. She had to go to the club and get their security footage showing when he was heckling her and calling her a bitch. And then she took that video and sent it back to him and said, run me my money, because you did say it. So if you want to act like you're bigger and better than that, come run me my money. So T.I., you need to go run that girl her money. You need to run her money. Like, stop the nonsense. You have this, this aura around you where you think everybody is beneath you.
It's
And
very
I need you to
menacing.
get knocked right off of your damn soapbox. Like, I need you to get right off that damn soapbox. But anyways,
Okay, so
moving on.
we'll move on to Ti's just messing up the vibes.
A whole
Okay,
bunch. Mm-hmm.
we'll move on to music news for this week. And so, since our last episode, the Grammys have happened, the biggest night of music. And so, we just want to do a quick recap and any
Mm-hmm.
call out. So, I'll just kind of do a quick rundown of the top winners. No surprise to me that the song of the year went to Silk Sonic for Leave the Door Open. That was a huge song. That's a huge
Mm-hmm.
song. And I
Mm-hmm.
actually just because I'm just tired because it was playing everywhere, but it's actually one I did actually love it when it was fresh and out there. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that was worthy of winning that award.
Mm-hmm.
No
Mm-hmm.
surprise for me, best new artist Olivia Rodrigo. Oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
the whites worship this girl. I think she's the new. I listened to her album. It's actually good, like for what it is. I'm not the target demo, but I do see why her fans are ravenous for her. To me, she's like the new Taylor Swift, pretty much. Then the final best album of the year went to a new art. I He's not new actually, but I don't know him, but his name is John Batiste.
Oh,
And
what? Yeah, I've heard of him.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny
Mm-hmm.
because I saw he looked familiar, but I feel like I don't know. So I said so he won best album. I'm gonna go take some time and just listen to it because just he's from New
Mm-hmm.
Orleans and he's a musician. But yeah, best John Batiste for We Are,
Mm-hmm.
and then I wanted to call out that what I was very happy to see is best R&B album went to Jasmine Sullivan, and I would have
Thank you.
rioted.
Yes, Jazzy.
I would have
Yes.
rioted if she did not win that album. It would have
No,
been
but honestly, we talked about this.
yes, we
They
did. Yes.
always overlook her.
Hmm.
So no, stop miss me with the bullshit. She needs to have, and she got it. Thank
Hmm.
you, Lord.
And then in terms
Jazzy.
of performances, I'm gonna say my favorite performance was, of course, Silk Sonic. They killed it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only one I really saw. I saw clips of Lil Nas X. I feel like that may have been the second. Like I feel like people have been talking about that one. Like I didn't see a lot. Normally the Grammys have really good performances, but I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the people that they had performing was very random because of course the weekend boycotted, so that's the reason.
Well,
Kanye was, I think, banned. I feel like the people that I really would have loved to see performing, they weren't there in the house. So unfortunately, we have, well, Silk Sonic, they compensated, but everyone else, the clips that I've seen, they nothing really looked too exciting. The only other thing is the K-pop band BTS. I don't get the K-pop. I'm sorry, like they're very cute boys, but I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
The
I think
kids,
there's too many damn of them. I'm sorry.
yeah,
There's too many of you.
there's
I'm
like
sorry. I
literally
can't.
7 or 8 of
I
them on stage.
can't. I
I,
can't. Listen, this is gonna sound real rude, but just hear me out. They all look the same.
oh no, don't say that.
No, I'm not talking about their
The
race.
outfits,
I'm talking about their style. I'm talking about the cut of their hair.
yes,
I'm
a cut.
talking about how they dress. No, I'm not talking about their race.
Hmm.
I'm not that like I'm a little bit more educated than that.
Hmm.
But they look the same. Like they almost you could take two
I'm
out
I'm
and you
literally
wouldn't know
looking
that
at
they're
a
gone.
literally looking at a photo, and you're right because the only one I know that who looks distinct is a guy whose hair is dyed gray. His
That's
hair is
it.
dyed silver.
They I could so therefore for me, no, because you know what? I've seen multiple groups over the years. This is the largest group that I've ever seen
Yep.
myself and that have been so successful. Usually the maximum I've ever seen is four.
Hmm.
Okay. And they have like a whole basketball team coming up in here. But I just found that they all look too alike.
Hmm.
Now, the reason why I feel like they have to go that route in the music industry is because there aren't enough looks for each one of them. Do you know
Yes.
what I mean? Like there's the sporty guy, there's the, dapper guy, there's
Hmm.
the this, that. You understand what I'm saying? Like how they did the
There's the
Spice Girls.
urban one. The urban one. They always have an urban
There's always
one.
there was always the urban one. He usually will have a perm. You understand? He'll have some curly hair in the perm. But
Some baggy
I'm just
pants.
saying, if you look at like Spice Girls, for instance, they
Mhm.
all had an individual character or style to them. You
Yes.
know, like these guys, you could take out two and I wouldn't know that they're gone.
Hmm.
Like you could remove two and I wouldn't know that they're gone. And it's like I understand why they can't do that because there's not enough like different types of looks to go around this large group of people that are calling themselves a music group. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? There aren't enough. But I'm sorry, they all look the same. They all have the same haircuts. There's only I think two or three that have different color hair. Um, you know, they dress very similar. Like there's no originality amongst each one of them. There's no personality amongst each one of them. So nobody come for me, okay? I wasn't talking about their race.
No, yeah.
Thanks.
But
So, because people will
so
come for
I
you.
maybe the super fans, which they have a lot, know, and they could tell us. Like I'd like to know if you could give us a rundown on how each of them are distinct in personality. Let us know.
Because
Okay.
I don't see it.
I okay, so outfits. There's one,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm gonna do outfits, and then we're gonna talk about the outrage. Okay. So
There was one.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna just go right ahead. There's like I'm gonna have some honorable mentions, but I'm just gonna go right ahead and say Tiffany.
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 She's not a musician, but Tiffany. Honestly,
You killed it.
she killed the Grammys. She killed the Grammys. I'm sorry.
She killed it. 2-2.
I even like
That's
her
two and
dress
two for you,
better. I
girl.
even like
Mm-hmm.
her dress better than the Oscars dress she had at the
Yeah,
Grammys.
yeah. This suited her very well. But what I will say about Tiffany Haddish, you see this blonde hair you have here, girl.
Oh yeah, I love it for her.
You are rocking that hair. Like you are rocking that hair. These dresses just complement that blonde hair so well.
Mhm.
So well. But Tiffany,
Tiffany. Okay, so she's my favorite, and then
me
honorable
too.
mention, I will give to what's her name, Doja Cat. Doja Cat did her thing. I mean,
She
her
did.
outfit is very Doja Cat. So what are you gonna?
Yes,
That's
I'll
what I
say that.
expect. And for Doja
Yes.
Cat, it's like she commits to a look. So in
Mm-hmm.
terms of the look, a total look, purse, everything, I'll give it to her. Dua Lipa. I love it, but it's not very original because it's a do you remember the Formation video when Beyonce did Formation?
Yep.
And I
This
don't
is
know if you remember Dua
very
Lipa.
similar to that dress.
Very similar in terms of the, especially the upper part. So it just didn't seem it's
Yep.
very Versace. Like I get it's a Versace dress, but it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like it, but it just wasn't original. So
Especially the accents of gold, like they
mhm,
were in the same area on the dress that Beyonce wore. Like that
exactly.
accent of gold that Dua Lipa has, it was on the upper half of Beyonce's dress as well. Do you know
Yes.
what I mean? Like it just looked too familiar, too
Yes, very
familiar.
finesse. It's
But
been
you did
done
look pretty.
very much so.
She
And
did look
then
pretty though.
the only thing issue I have is I'm on AOL or Yahoo fashion, and the person that they identified but for best dress to me is the most bland. Sorry, and that's Justin Bieber's wife, Haley Bieber. I'm just like, what? It's just a sheath. It's just a
Yeah,
white sheath of a dress. But anyway, that was my picks.
literally.
Did
Yeah,
anybody
it
stand out
almost
to
looked
you?
like a bed sheet.
Oh, you
It
said.
almost yeah, it almost looked like a bed
Yeah,
sheet.
I'm like best dress. Come on now, stop it now. So who paid you? Who paid you for
I'm
that?
not sure why. I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
sure
nonsense.
why.
It's paid promo.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed. I was like, you could do something
Was there
so different.
anybody that I didn't mention that you wanted to call out?
Okay, you know what? Gaga, Lady
Yes.
Gaga's
Oh
dress.
yes, Lady Gaga. She classes it up now.
Yeah, she does. She classes it up, and this dress was very suiting to her.
Mhm.
I liked the white and the black, and I liked how it was like it almost looked like the back of the dress was white and the
Mhm.
front is black, or like at certain poses that she took it. So I thought that it suited her body style. I thought
Mhm.
she looked very elegant. She's not wearing meat on the red carpet, so
Those days are done.
those days are done. She's classing it up now. But to be quite honest, Tiffany was doing it
Yeah,
for me. She was
Tiffany
doing it
took
for
the award
me.
for best dress. Yeah.
She was. And if you ask me, I find that she was the best dressed
She was.
myself. I
Yes,
think she
I
looked
give her
so
that.
appropriate. There was one other thing, Lenny Kravitz. Now, Lenny Kravitz,
Lot of mercy,
I
Lenny.
love me some Lenny. Like, don't
Yes.
get me wrong,
Yes.
but the
The
boots,
boots was a little too high.
the boots, I don't know
I
about
was
the
like, they
boots.
look. I was like, I know there are men. They make shoes with heels for men, but there's usually a different. You can still tell that it was made for man. I
No,
felt
those
like
look like they were made for women.
they look like women's
They,
boots.
yeah, I was like, I'm thinking about it. My mom has a boots like that. I'm like, my mama has a boots like that. I'm just thinking about it. And I mean, I can get the rock and roll, but also
Yeah.
Lenny is very short. Like he's a petite
You
guy.
know what? I didn't know he was that short until now. I'm like, why is he wearing
Yeah,
and
it
I know
needs him
he's
some
worn
boots.
boots, but now when I saw him beside her because he performed with her, I was
Yeah.
like, damn, he's not that much he's like only a little bit taller than her.
Very little
And
taller than
that's
her.
when it clicked that he was petite.
He's a petite guy.
And
And that's okay, you know.
no,
You
nothing
could
wrong
try
with
to
that.
pull off a boot, like you see, what's his name? Justin Bieber. He
Oh
had on
yeah, the
this
platform
huge
boots.
platform boot thing,
But the thing
whatever.
is, Lenny always had a heeled shoe, but it's like I'm looking at this picture again. This is a damn woman's boot.
That's
This is
a
like
woman's
it looks like it's from Payless. On top of that, it doesn't even look like nice. It looks like it's like from
boot.
Payless or something.
Like
Like
I would, if I'm gonna see a rock star in a platform boots like that, like how my mom would wear, I would think there would be like some rhinestones, something or
something.
another, some, you know, some accent, some skulls, something or another. Like, I don't know. I'm just
Or
saying,
even
Lenny.
they look like worn down, like like they have character, like they look a little bit worn. They don't look like fresh from the Payless shelf.
No, those are the boots from last winter. What you talk about, Virgin?
Oh
Lenny,
yeah,
we need to look for a different boots. You
yeah,
understand?
different boots.
Please and thanks. But no, that's that, you know, everybody I found had a very unique style. It was more calmed down.
Yes, it's true. Less subdued.
You know, it was more subdued, which was nice
Yeah, nothing
because
wrong
we're
with that.
focusing on the award show.
Mhm.
So, you know, but it was nice. Nonetheless, it was nice.
Okay, so let's jump
Take off them
into.
boots, Lenny. I'm done.
You're too fine to be wearing those boots,
No,
Lenny.
you shouldn't be wearing them boots. I'll
Please.
take you in your short self, but please take off them boots. My
So
mama has them boots. Take the boots off. Take the boots off.
oh my god. Okay, so the outrage. So let's get to the outrage.
Yes, because it is.
So Kim and I, we both come from Jamaican backgrounds.
Yes.
We're yachties.
Yes.
And the best reggae album award was
Nonsense.
typically I don't pay attention.
No,
But
go ahead, talk it because I'm just so vexed. Go
but
on.
Spice released her first official album last year, and there was a lot of hype.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people going into it were like it was gonna be Spice, or I can't remember the other person in the category, right? So actually, I should actually say no. We're making an argument here. I need to actually look up who was nominated for the actual who else was in that category, because it's very important for our quick little outrage recap here.
Yes, and as you look for that, I just wanted to say this right here is messed up. It's messed up, and all us Jamaicans have to stand together because this right here, I was like, what the hell is going on here?
Okay, so here
What
is
going on?
were the nominees for the category. So there was Pamoja, there was Etna, female vocalist. Then there's Gramps Morgan. So this is pretty much Morgan Heritage's band.
Yeah.
Then there's Sean Paul.
Yeah. Which heavy hitter.
Heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Then there's Jesse Royale.
Yeah.
Then there's Soja, the group that won, US based. Okay.
From Texas.
Texas. And then there was Spice for her album 10, like I mentioned.
Oh, God.
Somehow, out of all these heavy hitters,
the
heavy hitters for me, like I don't know much of Gramps Morgan. That's the only one I don't know. But Etna, everybody else, those are heavy hitters. They're making money,
big time,
and they're performing around the world. So they came out. It's funny because even they came up on I think on their thank you speech. it was kind of like they kind of even kind of said like you could kind of tell like they were surprised. And Soldier stands for Soldiers of Jah Army. Okay.
If you ever see the people them in the band with
Oh
them
my
called
gosh, they
soldier.
look like a folk band. They look like
Thank you.
I don't even
Folk
know.
music. Yes, definitely. Yeah, and with a little twist, there was like 3 of them that had dreadlocks of some kind.
Yes, there was
Okay,
a
and then
couple of guys with
okay. But I wanna make this very clear.
mhm,
They're white
mhm.
from Texas in the United States of America. Why is that significant? I'll say why later, but go on.
No, well, all I
Mm-hmm.
was gonna say, according to Dancehall Mag, that last win was for the best reggae album was marked as the third time a non-Jamaican artist has won best reggae album. And I have something to say. At surface level, I'm like, I don't know if I have a problem with them. It's not that they're white, because there are people, white people, Japanese people, different type of people immersed in Jamaican culture. But I
That
think
is
because
true.
my issue is that they are Americans. Like, how immersed are they? Like, are you on the island? Do you feature? Do you work with Jamaican artists? Do you prop them up? Like, I'm not getting that vibe, so that's why I'm not really comfortable with the win. Like, I don't mind. There are like other white reggae artists who like Alberosi.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one who does Every Time I Come
Collie
Around?
Bud.
Collie
Collie
Buds, yeah,
Bud.
that guy. Like, so they're there, but this one it kind of hit different. I don't know.
Okay. Well, here's how it excuse me, hit different for me.
Hmm.
We have two now. The other guy that you were talking about, I don't know too much from him either. I
Yeah.
don't. But we have 2 heavy hitters in this category. We have Spice and we have Sean Paul. Sean Paul has been in the game for too damn long
Mm-hmm.
for him to be passed up in this category. Because if you look at other categories, the person who has been in the game and has been on their grind for a long time, usually they're the favorite. They're the ones that are going to win. Now, Spice just put out an album. So I don't understand why this band, who is not of Jamaican descent, and the reason why I point out is white is because it's almost like they went with the white band to be more palatable for reggae.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I say that because reggae has been at the Grammys, but it's been a sub category
Yeah,
that
yeah.
people don't really care about too
Mm-hmm.
much.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really look and check for who's going to win. It's like another part of the award show. Like, it's just, yeah, the reggae section is done.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because, the United States, I'm going to say culturally, there's lots of people that are from the West Indies that live in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
However, there's a general consensus that you're an American first.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, they want to make reggae more palatable where people will listen. And I find it so funny that they'll have reggae songs after reggae songs out on the top 40, right throughout the whole US. People know about reggae. They understand the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand why you're going to pass it up just to make it palatable. And that's exactly what it felt like. Because I don't understand how you have 2 heavy hitters like that in that subcategory, and neither one of them won. But who is this soldier? Who is this soldier? This
And I
group?
think
Like,
that's
who
another
are they?
thing
Where
that
did they come
people. I
from?
think that's another thing that people are outraged. It's like we never even heard. It's one thing you could be a white reggae artist, but then people know you in the scene. Nobody knew them in the scene, and I think that's another reason why people are like, "This is the first time we're hearing of this group."
Yes, and you notice that in the American, like, different genres in America, it's almost like you need a co-signer in
Mm-hmm.
that
Exactly.
in that particular subsector of music. So if, for instance, like Little Nas X, when he came out with Old Town Road, people weren't paying no attention to it until Billy
Mm-hmm.
Ray Cyrus jumped on the
Yes,
track.
true. That's
And when
true.
he jumped on the track and he had that cosign of this black band in trying to enter into the country western
Mm-hmm.
sector, he needed a cosign.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he got it. Now look at him.
Yeah, no,
So
Billy Ray jumping on that track. The track was
that
already
made
big,
his career,
but when
period.
Billy Ray jumped on it, it gave it a whole new.
A whole new twist.
Yep.
The same damn song. You understand? So there has to be a cosign. And there's been so many artists that are from the United States that have worked with Jamaican artists, so many. And to be quite honest, a lot of them were with Sean Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce, Keisha Cole, like we could go on and on for how many collaborative efforts he's made with American artists. So he already has that endorsement. He already has that, support. He already has the cosign. So I don't understand why we're passing up. And if it wasn't going to be Spice, I'm not too sure why Sean Paul lost. Mm-hmm. Like I'm really trying to wrap my brain around it. Now these people, they don't have a cosign from anyone who's Jamaican.
Nope.
Who the hell are they? Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to figure it out. Okay, but it's a mockery. But go on. It was a mockery.
Okay, so that was it. That's what we just wanted to, we had to kind of speak on it because, yeah, we were kind of like, wait a minute, where did these people come from? So we're gonna
Spice, you did win. Forget them. You did win, Spice.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna get into a lot of mercy.
A lot of mercy.
Oh, Lord of mercy, mercy, mercy. Oh, Lord of mercy, mercy, mercy.
A lot of mercy is where we talk about stories where you read it and you're like, all you can really say is lot of mercy. Lord, take the wheel. We don't know what's going on.
God, please, I'm crazy.
So there's a rapper who goes by the name of Goonew. I don't know how I'm supposed to say it, but I said it in a very Jamaican way. Goonew.
Yeah. Goonew.
And he was, killed recently, and his funeral took place in a club.
My God.
And there was a viral video
what
going
is
around
going on in the world?
where his body is propped up.
God.
He has his shades on, propped up on stage, mind you. They're playing his music and people are there in the club. And when I saw it, I was aghast. I was aghast. Okay. I'm like, this is, I mean, I've seen other countries do some stuff, but personally for me, I would not want to be in a club or anywhere where a dead body is just there emancipating its fumes. They have those dead bodies.
It was embalmed. The body was embalmed. Like,
yep, okay. Propped up, and it probably has to be extra embalmed for it to be propped up like that.
For it to be stiff for so long. Yeah.
Slowly thawing out on stage while people I don't know. It looked very grotesque. But so everybody was shocked. There was a lot of backlash for the club for allowing it and everything like that. And then eventually his mother gave a statement, which I was like, okay, let me read this statement. She spoke with Fox. She said, for all the negative people probably don't know anything about us. They have no idea. People just saying what they want to say, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm pleased with how I sent my son away. I wish people would let me grieve in peace. She said, and then his sister chimed in, we're not trying to clear anything up. We don't care about anybody and what you'll have to say negative. We don't care. This, I know his mom. And so basically they're trying to say, they buried him how he would have wanted to go. That's how he would have wanted to go. And that's what they're saying. But my point of view, with all the backlash, okay. The club, so this funeral, it's crazy how this came about. So the club is called Bliss. And so the venue wrote in a statement because, again, they are getting the brunt of the backlash online. So they're like, our deepest condolences to Goonew's family, friends, and fans. Bliss was contacted by a local funeral to rent out our venue for Goonew's homegoing celebration. Bliss was never made aware that what would transpire, as they have to clear that up. We sincerely apologize to all of those who are upset or offended. Please keep Goonew's family and friends in your prayers at this difficult time. I mean, what else are they going to say, right? But here's my thing to the mother. Because she was on there big and bossy. Like, I get she's grieving her son. But she's like, I'm just saying sometimes people say they want certain things when they pass. But, keep it classy. At the end of the day, keep it classy.
This, I'm sorry, when I saw and heard about this story, I was disgusted. Why? Because why do Black people have to do everything in the damn club? Everything is in the flipping club. Now, this just shows everything is in the flipping club. The man just died, and we have him in the club embalmed, standing up with sunglasses? Really? I'm sorry. That is just this. I don't care if that was his way. I don't care if that's how he wanted to do it. I don't think that it should be in a club setting where there's other patrons that don't know that there's a dead man that's embalmed over here in the side corner.
I would hope
No.
that they know. I'd hope that they knew. I'm
Well,
I'm
it
assuming
doesn't.
it's a funeral.
Then this wouldn't be an outrage. You understand what I'm saying? It
I
wouldn't be
think
an
the
outrage if
outrage was
everybody
more.
knew.
I think the outrage is more for the people who maybe they go to the club regularly, but they and so they saw it
Jeanette,
online.
picture this. You're going out with your girls.
But it
You
wasn't.
You're
Yeah.
going out with your girls. You go out with your girls. You see, oh, there's that guy just keeps standing there. It looks so spooky, him just standing there.
No, it wasn't a club night, a regular club night. People who were in attendance knew it was a funeral memorial service.
But it's in a club.
Yeah, it was in a club.
I think that, I'm sorry, I just disagree. People could come for me if they like, but I feel like when somebody passes, there's this period of time where their soul is going to go to heaven. And I feel like it's very, that's a solemn time. That's a time of prayer. That's a time of, contemplation and reflection on the person's life. Now, if that's the way that you wanted to do it, girl, I can't tell you no. You done did it. You had the man up in the club embalmed. But for me, I'm sorry. I just don't think that's right. I just don't believe that's how God would want you to leave this earth. That your body and your spirit and your soul should be at peace. And hearing this loud thumping music in an embalmed body, like, come on, man. Like, this is ridiculous. There needs to be some sort of limits as to what can happen up
That's
in the
what I'm
club.
saying. And I think everybody was like, y'all, does his mother know about this? Because they were thinking, oh,
Yeah,
maybe
she's the
maybe his
one
friends.
she coordinated.
She agreed to it. And that is to me it's very grotesque. I don't know, but in the same breath I'm like, if you want, I don't know. On one hand I get it.
I'm
like,
sorry.
no, right?
That I could understand, okay, you want to have it like that or whatever. Have the passing, like, have the viewing, have the passing in a funeral home. And if you want to ask the funeral home, can we turn this out like a club? Do that then. Okay. But I just can't wrap my brain around why, as a mother who just lost your son, would you want him up in a club embalmed?
Supposedly they also charge 40 people to attend. $40 to attend, sorry.
That's even worse.
There was a door fee.
So that's even worse. Okay, because back in the day, if you couldn't pay for the funeral, we'd have like a little party, fry up some chicken and everybody come and put a little money together for the funeral. But now you're asking for money to cover what? The funeral while he's in the club embalmed? Are we? I'm sorry. I can't wrap my brain around.
Lord of mercy.
A lot of mercy for real. Lord Jesus, take the case, yeah. Because me, NASA. Nah, it's not right, man. And his spirit will be stuck in that club. Just so you know. But anyway, that's my personal perspective. But let's move on. We are going to move on into the call out. Yes, people. This is where we put each other in the hot seat with different questions. And so my question to you today would be, if there was one show from your childhood that you could do a remake of, what show would it be? Now, I'll go first. Okay. So one show that I grew up with was Golden Girls. Now, we know Betty White. She just passed the other day. True Soldier. The Betty White, what? That's my girl. But Golden Girls with a twist. So if we could bring Golden Girls to this day and age, to this era, because back then it was like the late 80s, 90s. So if I could bring it to this era and I could be 3 Black grandmas, 3 Black women that are
Okay.
living together like the Golden Girls. I think it would be
That'd be hilarious.
hilarious. Okay, where we see them the same way. We would have a Blanche, we would have a Rose, you know what I mean? But they're Black women. I think it would be, if anybody out there in TV land is listening, it would be epic, okay, for this generation. I really do, because Golden Girls was funny as hell. I don't care. Nobody tells me. Them white women were funny as hell. And even to this day, with all the reruns,
that show
still
is
funny
so
as
good.
hell.
That show is so good. Yeah.
It's so good.
Actually,
like, honestly. And it had different aspects, not just, you know, there being older women living together. They had their different families. You know, we see that Blanche, you know, what would she call her daddy? Big Daddy or something like that, who was her father, who, you know, big Texas guy and cowboy. And so we get to know them from before they moved in and lived together. So bringing that different dynamics, you know, I think that would be awesome in 2022 if that were a remake. But what about you?
Well, since we're talking about that, I want to call out Bel Air, the new Fresh Prince show that's on Peacock, that they completely did a revision version of it. So it's more of a drama. It's more dark, not dark, but it's more serious. I love it. So the only way I will do what do you call it? A retake, or what did you call it? What's it called?
A remake?
A remake, yes, that's what I meant. The only way I can accept a remake is if you kind of have a different spin on it. Like, to just create another show with the same formula and the same people. It's kind of like, keep it where it belongs. But anyway, long story short, first thing that came to mind for me, I would love to see, I don't know, yeah, I'll say Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh yes, Buffy
I loved
the
that
Vampire
show.
Slayer, man.
There's so many things they could do that they could to put a spin on it or whatever. So there's probably other ones, but that's the first one that jumped out to me when you asked that question.
The second one that I had was 90210.
Oh yeah, but that show's been made so many times.
I know, but it's never been made from like maybe a Caribbean perspective.
You know what? No, I have one. You know what? A different world.
A different world.
Yes, that I would love a different world.
Yes,
that would be so good. Although, I wonder if Dear White People on Netflix kind of feels that. But anyway, yeah, that was a really good question. I don't really have a question this week, to be honest. So I think instead of just throwing out anything, that the first thing that comes to my I have one.
Okay.
So I don't want to. I want to dead this issue, but because I can't get away from the Will Smith fiasco.
Oh Lord Jesus!
So he's recently. They're so stupid. So recently he's recently stepped down. He's resigned from the academy. What do you think would have been an appropriate, I'm going to say this in quotations, punishment, or not punishment, accountability? Because clearly they want him, they have to show, because there's all this massive white outrage, I'm sorry, but it is white outrage, that's leading to this. What could he have done outside of that? To me, I see why he did it. I think we talked about this last week.
Yes, we did.
It's just before they can come with their nonsense, he's like, just, okay, I'm not a part of the academy, so what? Right? Yeah. So what would have been appropriate? And when I say appropriate, matching to what, like, obviously it was bad and it's unfortunate that it happened, but did the man kill anybody?
No.
After we've seen a pedophiles or rapists keep their awards and stay on the academy
and still get to stand up in
So
well, okay, so to answer your question, what would be the appropriate accountability here? Now, from what I'm hearing, he has been banned from the Oscars for 10 years.
Yes, that too. Yeah.
So to be quite honest, I do think that's appropriate, just not the amount of time.
That time, yeah.
I think 10 years is a long time, especially for Will Smith, seeing how he is older. Like he's 53. Not super, super young anymore. And you know, just the simple fact that a Black man got that Oscar, I'm so happy. Yes, you tarnished it. However, for him to turn around and get another one, the chance of him getting another Oscar at this point is slim to none.
Yes.
So him to be able to at least attend like the rest of everybody else.
Mm.
I think that a 5-year suspension from going would be sufficient. Also, to be quite honest, like the public apology that he gave Chris Rock and his family, I don't think it was good enough. I'm being quite honest. I think at the time that he gave it, it was damage control.
Yeah.
And I think that a very sincere public apology that's heartfelt should be required, because you embarrassed that man worldwide. And I think he deserves a better apology than the one that he got. So in terms of accountability, I think they should cut that 10 years to 5, and he should go, like, I want this to be a big flipping deal. Just like the slap was a big flipping deal, this apology should be a big deal. And it should come out of Will's pocket. This should be a big ass production for a very sincere apology to Chris Rock. Now, whether he'll do that, I don't know. But my opinion is that would suffice. Now, he still went on a stage and he still assaulted someone. So there still has to be accountability for that. And to be quite honest, I think right now, I'm going to say something, I'm going to put it out there. I think Will is living in hell with Jada right now. So I don't think anything that, you know, the Oscars are going to do is going to be any worse than what his life is like right now with that woman. And I love Jada. She, you know, back in the day, she's a firecracker, but she didn't stand beside her man. She did not. I don't see her standing beside him. The fact that she put all their business out, the man has been tortured for how many years? I think Will has gotten his just desserts on this one. I really do. So, you know, in terms of accountability, 5 years, public apology, I think it suffices. What about you?
For me, I think that it should be like not even, okay, fine, 1 or 2 years for me. In terms of the amount of like that whole academy thing. And then as well as I think as like the public apology, again, personally, I don't need it for me. I feel like Will did what he needed to do, but I think for the public to kind of get back on his side, the public apology, the meaningful public apology, and you know, or at least some more an accountability would definitely, I think that should suffice. Then I feel like then nobody should be outraged. Like I get it, everybody's like, oh, I'm appalled. Fine, but fine, at least if he did that, then all those people who are getting all up in their feelings over something that didn't happen to them, then at least that might make them sleep better at night. I don't know, but that's as far as I would take it. I'm on the side of like, honestly, everybody just like chill the fuck out. But obviously, and then, you know, public scrutiny and public opinion plays a big part in the work that he does. So unfortunately, he's gonna have to flail himself for the public.
Well, it's happening. It's happening.
Yeah, it's happening.
You know, it's happening whether he wants it to or not. I really wish I were in Will's mind.
Well, I hope they do. Like
why he did that.
I hope the Red Table Talk does come out.
Oh God,
I do.
That stupid ass table. Put it on auction.
In this, like, it's going to be so hot. We thought the entanglement views were crazy.
Oh no! And trust me,
the internet
she's
is
saving it all. They're saving it all for that Red Table
They
Talk.
should, and I want Chris. I want Chris to be on it.
And he has to be.
He has.
Or I don't want to see no damn table talk.
Yeah,
because I'm tired of your damn table talk. This is what got us where we are right now.
I think
so Chris needs to be there.
Chris needs to be there. Chris needs to be there. And if Chris is there, then it's whoo.
Right?
I am tired of this story. But let me tell you, when that Red Table Talk episode drops,
right?
My ass is gonna be all up
glued to the screen.
Okay.
Trust and believe.
Okay. So.
But if I don't hear that Chris Rock is
no,
if he's not there,
it won't be as good.
Keep your damn table talk. Okay. Yeah. You need to put that table up for auction. That's what you need to do. But we're gonna move on in the meantime while you auction off that table into The Wine Down.
Wind down.
This segment is all about us enjoying our downtime with wine. So we'll talk about our favorites, our least favorite brands, different type of food pairings, and any memorable stories. So I'm going to go first on this one, and I'm going to talk about a wine it's a Canadian based wine, and it's Xoxo Sangria Red. Now, this Sangria Red, it is a beautiful, beautiful wine. It is very sweet, I would say myself. The sweetness is, it's up there. It's up there. So you got to be careful with that. Also, it's about 11%. It's really fruity, which I do like fruity wines, especially like berry type of fruity wines. For instance, like this one where it's more of a blueberry, black plum, pomegranate type of flavoring. And you know what? Honestly, I picked it up because it was cheap. And because that's, honestly, I like to try different wines, and I don't want to spend an arm and a leg unless I'm going out to a really nice restaurant where, I'm having a really, really nice meal. This is just, a Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? So I have had this wine before, not in the last couple of weeks, but I have. And for me, like I said, it's a little sweeter than most.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I wouldn't pair it. I'm still trying to figure out its pairing, to be quite honest with you guys. But if you are going to have something like maybe a fruitier cake or something that has a fruit something to it, like a cranberry sauce, maybe a Thanksgiving dinner-ish type of wine. I really don't have too much memories with this because I have only had it like a handful of times. But I did find personally that it created a nice calm, being 11% and all, and created a nice calm. I could have one or two. But I did find that the next day I kind of had a headache. So that was kind of like a, I don't know, but it is Canadian.
Is it sweeter? Is it a sangria? So
yes, it is. And
that's
the acidity is the
Yes.
acidity is not too high either. So it's not like a balance of the sweetness and acidity.
It's the sweetness that's giving you a headache.
Yeah, definitely. But while I was having it, it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice. Don't drink too much of it though. I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't one of my favorites, but it was enough for me to mention because it is a Canadian wine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? XO Sangria Red. So if ever you guys would like to, check it out. If I were to be honest, I think to pair this with something, it has to be along the same fruity lines. Like you can't. I think a red meat, this would be way too sweet for.
Maybe something light. Oh, like maybe it's just something that you have as a refreshment after you've eaten. It's just like something you have cold and you're just enjoying your hanging out, having a picnic.
It is so much. Yes, very much like that. It's has dark fruity flavor, like very fruity. Like you can taste the pomegranate. You can taste the black plum. You can taste it. Like it's like a really tasty juice, like a really tasty juice. For me, that was my perspective, but it is a great, Canadian product that I did want to highlight. So if ever, our Canadian fans are out there, try it out, especially in the summertime. This right here on some ice. Yeah, that would do it. But yeah, every time I've had it, it's just been me here at the house, just have a little bit and nothing really to write home about. Like it's a great wine.
It's a sangria, so that we know it's not.
Right. So it's nice. Like I'm not gonna say that it's not. Mm-hmm. If you like really fruity stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it was the headache the next day that kind of was like, no. No. I'm going to have one glass of you from now on, ever again in life. And maybe put some ice.
Okay. All
But yeah,
right. So
I don't
I
like putting ice
gonna
in wine. It's like, no, you
no, yeah,
don't
you
do
just
that.
chill it in the fridge.
But something to like thing this down because Jesus, it reminded me of a sorrow. But anyhow, go on.
Okay, so the wine I have, I recently had a get together with some old coworkers, and a friend, one of the girls, had a gift. She was gifted a bottle of wine, and she was waiting for a special occasion because the price of this wine is definitely a special occasion price. It's an Amarone. It's in the
See?
category
Mm-hmm.
of Amarone. They call them Amarones, and
Oh,
this one is Amarone della Valpolicella. Okay, very
okay.
Italian.
Mm-hmm.
As you can tell, it's an Italian
Yes.
wine. And so this one is, they say it's a red wine from the Valpolicella region in a certain area. So normally
Mm.
the wines are named after the region that they're from. And it's usually the grapes that they use. They usually use more dried out grapes. This is the second wine that
Mm-hmm.
I found out. I think even the last one I recommended, the Radio Boca, is they use, or the Tempranillo, they use drier grapes, grapes that are more almost raisin like. And so this is
Mm-hmm.
very tasty. It's not too dry. It's dry. It's, you're drinking a fine wine. You definitely know you're drinking a fine wine, but there's just
Mm-hmm.
these nice notes in it, and they have
Mm-hmm.
notes of plum, cherry, and fig, a little chocolate, dark chocolate undertone. Like, it's a very rich
Ooh.
flavor. You might even want to use an aerator, those things that you put on top to kind of air out the
Right.
wine.
Yeah.
It's a little
Yeah.
bit, it's because it is heavy. It's very rich. Um,
Yeah. When you said chocolatey flavor, yeah, I could imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, so I love it. It's like full bodied, higher alcohol. And
Mm.
average wine I think is like 12-13%. The Amarone was about 15%. So after two glasses I was like, whoo,
Okay.
woo.
Okay. I'll
And
check it out.
so
I'll check it out.
it would be good I would say, because it's a heavy wine, it's definitely something you pair with a heavier meal. Like if you're
Right.
having like so like, and pasta with with meatballs, or pasta with salami, something
I was
rich.
gonna say the red meat and the chocolate would
Red meat,
they would kind of
yes.
like
Something like
balance each
steak,
other, those two.
any meal that you're having that's very heavy on the protein side, I think this would balance it out very well. So that's my recommendation for
Yeah.
this week's wind down.
Okay. Well, listeners, we suggest these things and we hope that you'll go out and try some too. Or maybe tell us something to try. Please leave
Hmm.
us a comment or anything like that, letting us know what kind of wines do you like? What kind of wines should we give a gander? But in the meantime, to wrap this up this week, we want everybody to still be responsible, have fun, enjoy each other, enjoy your company. And with that being said, we hope that your hearts and minds were activated on this week's show. Whether you lead with your heart or your mind, stay passionate and thoughtful, everyone. We'll talk to you as soon as we can. Bye.
Bye.